And it says we're live.
It lies.
Sawadee crop, Richard.
So, and that is why you do not feed bubblegum to jackasses
No.
Oh.
or any donkey or mule, really.
Apparently, there is a zonkey.
A zebra donkey mix, yeah.
Yeah.
It's like a mule where it has to be.
Here in the county somewhere.
Yeah, no, but it's like a mule. The sex of the partners matters. Otherwise, it won't happen. Like on a donkey, it has to be a male. A male, no, it has to be a male horse and a female mule.
I didn't realize it was
You won't, or
female donkey.
Or female donkey won't get
I
a mule.
didn't realize it was that specific.
Yeah, it's that kind of way.
Zebras are a horse with mental issues with a switchblade.
Right. Yeah. Zebras are the breed of horse that are not domesticatable.
No, at all.
Yeah. You'll notice that we have very specific breeds of animals that we've domesticated, and yes, we've then bred them for different traits. Hello, Obi.
Traits.
Yeah.
Blonde trait.
Yeah, but there are versions of those animals that were not domesticated. The auroch is a great example of a cow that was not domesticated.
We're a minute in and we're already off the friggin' rails.
Well,
You asked.
The interesting thing.
I didn't ask.
The interesting thing is, remember back when they did Sheena, Queen of the Jungle,
Yeah.
and there was this great, huge uproar because she was riding a horse painted to look like a zebra.
Yes.
I'm going, that's not a zebra; it's a horse painted like a zebra. That's because they didn't want to get the star stomped to death.
Yes. Plus, zebras aren't big enough.
The hell they're not.
The hell they're
That
not.
horse was way bigger than a zebra.
Zebras get big.
I'm not saying that. I'm saying that
that particular horse was huge.
that was horse sized, not zebra sized.
Don says, well, today's a dumpster fire of suck and fail, but at least I got to eat. RK says, of course zebras aren't domesticatable. They got prison stripes. Yeah.
They've been through the county.
A horse in prison stripes. That's actually a pretty good.
Yeah.
It is. It's just.
And it's well earned.
Oh, no kidding.
Would they be part of the black gangs or the Aryan gangs?
Depends on which one would do them better at the time.
Yeah. Well, because they are.
Because it's not just the hair; the skin is actually colored.
Yes, there's some black and 50% white.
Yeah, we had riders.
Which is interesting when you think about it, because the skin color, like polar bears, have black skin because of where they live. You want to keep the heat.
Yeah.
Right.
Right. But they're in a tropical area, or they're in a savanna.
Equatorial.
Yeah, you'd think zebras.
It's camouflage.
Zebras
are the Karens of the animal world.
Oh no.
No.
Karens are annoying.
They will
Zebras
not
are
ask
dangerous.
to see they will not ask to see your manager. They will fuck you up right there.
Well, we were at the local writers, Jim Curtis and I were at the local writers meeting last night, and one of the writers there's a zonkey. I said, what the hell is a zonkey? She explained it. I went off on zebras, and I really think I wrecked that poor girl.
You did.
Wrecked that poor girl's worldview.
So what you're saying is there's a zonkey in Texas.
There's a zonkey in Wichita County.
In Wichita County,
Yeah,
where?
Apparently, I don't know.
We need to go visit this thing.
No, you can go visit.
Well, I'm curious.
I'm going to stay over here.
Did it get the zebra attitude or did it get the donkey attitude?
That's a good question. I don't know. I didn't realize that.
They're not that far apart.
Well, zebras are active in their attitude. Donkeys tend to be more passive. Like you're trying to get me to do this. I'm just not going to do it.
Well, I'm wondering if they use the Mediterranean donkeys I'm used to, or one of the American ones. The Mediterranean donkeys are itty bitty little things.
Yeah.
Those are different.
That's a good question, RK. I don't know what poor donkey got hooked up with a zebra.
Yeah, no kidding.
Well, first off, it takes a 6-pack. And then you put the berry white on.
Well, I mentioned, I said, who the hell put a zebra and donkey in a room with a Barry White album and a case of bad champagne?
Yes.
And she just kind of gave me the big eyes. Like, I'm destroying this poor girl.
Because I've seen donkeys that are as big as horses.
Yeah, but not the
No,
Mediterranean.
those are mules.
No,
The donkeys tend to be the smaller.
Yeah, no, I've seen burros, which is the Mexican.
Well, the Mediterranean donkeys are tiny little things. And they're short-legged. They're short-legged, tiny little things.
Yeah, no, the Mexican burros I've seen have been, first off, very furry.
Think Shrek.
They're very furry.
That's a burro.
Yeah.
So Mediterranean donkey too. Greek donkey.
And of course, Cedar has to chime in.
Uh-oh.
Artificial insemination, frozen tube, lube and insert.
Still doesn't matter if the
Wow.
I want to say gamete, but that's not the right word.
I just
If the sperm and the ova are incompatible, you can insert artificial inseminate all you want. They're not going to combine. They're not going to go into.
Yeah, they will. As John says, if you put two animals together of opposite sexes, as long as they are more or less compatible, they will breed. Seen this way too many times. Yep.
I'm just the whole frozen cigar tube. Just
No, because you can't throw a human and a gorilla in a cage and expect to come out with in a case of bad champagne.
The gorilla's going to do what a gorilla's going to do.
Yeah, which is going to tear the guy limb from limb.
Or
you
cannot, maybe before or after,
You
depends.
cannot expect to come out with a hybrid from that because they are genetically not compatible.
swamp
Even though it's the same thing with chimpanzees, we share 97% of our genetic makeup is the same as chimpanzees.
Yeah,
We're still not compatible.
Yeah, because we've got 42 and they've got 46 or 48.
Doesn't matter. We're still not compatible to breed.
It does. That's why we can't.
Yeah, but you can't sit there and say, well, if they're more or less compatible. No, it doesn't work that way.
Well,
Okay, it says zebra.
In fact, donkeys and
Don,
horses.
does Playtex make that one?
donkeys and horses are on the edge of that compatibility.
Swamp Rabbit sent me the mule cannon display at the Fort Sill Museum is a mule skinned and laid over zebra form. Looks all out of proportion.
Yeah.
Because they didn't have another form.
Mm.
Give me a mule form. No, we only got zebras today. Okay, fine.
Where do you come up with a zebra form in Fort Sill? Would you just happen to have a zebra form?
Well, I'm sure they ordered a bunch of horse, mule, donkey, and zebra, and of course, there's not a whole lot of call for zebra.
Well, you remember how big that Morgan was they had in the display.
Oh God, yes.
That was much bigger than a real Morgan.
Oh, that's a solid chunk up.
Yeah. There are some lab stories out of there that they have crossbred human and primate.
What?
Yeah, I can tell you from experience as a crossbreeder that gene counts do not have to be equal.
Yes, that's what I was saying.
So
on to other things.
Now, okay.
If you human Denisovians and Neanderthals, so Homo sapiens, Homo Denisovians, and Homo neanderthalis, they were all close enough to interbreed.
And apparently did with gusto. But moving on.
Yes.
Yeah, but we don't know if it was consensual or more violent.
What caliber for the human gorilla hybrid? Large.
Whatever caliber he wants. I mean, think about this.
Whatever he can handle, he's got the shoulders for it.
Yeah, and he's got the reach. This guy would be a great boxer.
Wouldn't he?
He's going to have like 6-8 inches on anybody else.
You got to have reach for days.
Yeah. No, actually, I had a rather. We were at FinCon. A few of us were at FinCon this past weekend, and there was a rather interesting panel on alternate history.
The what if panel.
Yeah. But the question that I proposed after the panel, because I didn't want to start a absolute shitstorm, because one guy would have never shut up. Why is it there's always one on the panel like that?
Folks, it wasn't me. I didn't go to the con.
Anyway,
I know, but there always is.
Yeah. The question I posed to the moderator after the panel was, how do we know the history we have today is correct?
Oh, and you blew his tiny little circus.
And he just looked at me.
He blew his tiny little circus.
Yeah. And I said, let me give you a perfect example. We thought we knew all the history of World War II.
Oh, God, no.
Until things started getting released out of classified documentation.
Oh, that way. Okay.
That has now changed all the history of World War II. And then I looked at him and I said, who writes history?
The winner.
The winner. Little survivors.
And he looked at me and went, well, the winners do. I said, yeah. So how do we know it's right?
Winners bring a lot of propaganda with them.
Yeah.
They generally want to justify.
You know who writes the history? The guy's not using papyrus. The guy's using stone tablets because guess what survives?
Well, that's also a good point.
Yeah.
So
there's a meme going around.
We could very well have lost to the Persians at some point.
Oh, yeah.
But the Persians were using papyrus.
And it didn't like, well,
Yeah, and Sanford brings up a good point. After the woke get done with it, we will have lost World War II.
After the woke get done with it, we won't have a World War II. If the woke had their way, history would start last Friday.
Yeah.
And it will always
rotating.
Yes,
last
it's
Friday.
always last Friday. And great leaders always pointed to his victory over the Oceanians, Asianians, whatever the fuck.
I used the example. A friend of mine, Jerry Flanagan, sent me a book on the Mayagas, which if you read that book, the P3s did not do a single thing on the Mayagas other than initially find it. Because he was Air Force. So the way he wrote the book.
Just from an Air Force perspective.
Yeah. So Spectre did everything all night, every night. Except that Spectre wasn't there. We were. And I know because I was on the friggin' crew down there in the middle of that shit. Including dropping the flares, getting locked up by the Air Force, having to change directions in odd places, and getting shot at every time we came around the stern of the boat. But according to the book that this guy wrote, none of that happened. And I told him, I said, now, if you want to look at another piece, go look at the history of the first Gulf War. There's never a mention of a P3 or a Nimrod being in theater in the entire first Gulf War.
Yeah, it's because they're all classified.
We were there before the war started. We're still there today, and we've never left.
There's a meme going around Facebook or the internet in general about how there's, are you and the folks still mad about the burning of the Library of Alexandria? Yes. But talk about how much history vanished then. When the many times that somebody burned the Library of Alexandria.
The thing is, the Library of Alexandria was burned several times.
Yeah,
it was also sacked several times. So a lot of books weren't burnt; they just got dispersed.
They're in somebody's private collection.
Yeah, and unfortunately,
or somebody's temple.
Somebody's private collection tend to a few generations on the road,
you wind up in the fireplace.
Q Queen, it's a kind of magic, yes.
But so who knows how much history was lost?
Yeah.
Are you still mad about the burning? Which one?
Yeah.
Oh, you're still mad about it.
What would have happened if the Persians beat the Romans? No crucifixion.
There's Amazon Prime did a movie about one of the famous librarians of Alexandria, who happened to be a woman, Ruth. I can't remember now. Highly fictionalized, right? So, and they had her espousing a geocentric, solar system instead of a heliocentric, yada, all that stuff, right? Which she did, but the best part of that movie was the last 5 minutes, because the last 5 minutes they laid out. The library was sacked this year, this year, this year, this year, was burned this year, sacked this year, burned this year. They went through and they actually laid out the actual timeline for the library, wow. which made the movie better for me.
Sanford goes, you mean my wife was in Alexandria a couple 1,000 years ago? And Cedar goes, Hypatia. And he says,
yeah, Hypatia.
I can see her getting all the books.
That's it, Hypatia. Yeah, that's it.
And she was, I'm not sure that's Library of Alexandria. I don't remember. I do know that she was a pagan who at the time was well regarded by the Christian church.
This was the time that the Christians burned
they burned the library. Was it Alexandria?
Yeah, that was Alexandria. But
she was well regarded by the Christians until she wasn't.
Yeah.
Well, once you get the radicalized right wing in there, I don't know.
Well, but
Rachel Weisz was the actress who played Hypatia, which is the other reason I liked it so much.
Yeah, Jesse brings up a good point. The Muslims were actually progressives at the time, and much of the library was dispersed in the first couple of times it was sacked. So more of it survived.
The first couple of times it was sacked, there were no Muslims.
Yeah, it was
Caesar got one of them.
Yeah, the first couple of times it was sacked, it was pre-Christian era.
Yeah, there was no Christian, no Muslim.
Yeah, it was Caesar's one of them.
Yeah.
Gaius Julius, one each.
I'm sure it was the Hittites or somebody rolling down on Egypt at some point too. Everybody's like, well, the Muslims were great.
The Muslims that came out of North Africa weren't, the Moors weren't bad.
They weren't bad.
Berbers.
Yeah.
They did a good job of preserving
Yeah.
a lot of knowledge, but they didn't come up with anything. Well, the Muslims invented the zero, the concept of the zero. No, they didn't.
The Hindus did.
The Hindus did. The Muslims were able to preserve that concept, and by preserving it, the book spread.
Yeah, Sanford asked, has there ever been a pantheon with a god or goddess of books?
Yeah, the Romans have one.
Yeah. Well, okay.
Well, let me consult my brain.
The ibis-headed god in Egyptian mythology, Thoth, was the god of scribes, which is close enough to books.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's the same god as the goddess Papyrus too.
Thoth.
Yeah.
He was the ibis.
Yeah.
Ibis-headed god.
But I don't think there's ever been one that is actually named as books.
Well, if you're using books as a metaphor for knowledge,
Yeah.
I mean, Odin, and Freya were runes, which
Yeah.
was knowledge,
Mhm.
and carved into stone or wood generally in Norse pantheons.
Archaic cedar would be converting immediately if there was.
No kidding. There was
Steph says Thoth, Hermes, etc.
Hermes or Mercury in the Roman pantheon. Again, scribes. I'm not sure of books specifically, but scribes, I think.
Breda.
Closina was a goddess who presided over sewers in Rome. That
That's not what we're talking about.
That is a shit job, no matter how you cut it. Discordia. Could call her the goddess of books. She's the goddess of discord.
Not books.
No.
There was the Irish, the Celtic had a god of scribes. Can't remember that one offhand. Probably wouldn't be able to pronounce it if I could.
Cedar says no. Sewers.
Yeah, it's like that person was the end of the line when they handed out god duties.
Yeah.
On somebody's shit list in more ways
Yeah.
than one.
I wonder who she screwed, pissed off. There's always been, usually a god of knowledge, which I suppose would be books if you have books as a metaphor for knowledge.
Why didn't you one for knowledge here in the Roman Pantheon?
The scribes.
Apollo was a god of poetry.
Mercury / Hermes was god of scribes, though, right?
Yeah.
Scribes being the people who.
Was Hermes, yeah.
He was a messenger of the gods of commerce and finance.
Thoth was the god of moon, wisdom, writing, hieroglyphics, science, magic, art, and judgment.
Minerva was a goddess of wisdom, the city, education, science, and war.
Yeah. Okay.
We could throw books at her.
Minerva or Athena. God of hangovers was Terry Pratchett.
Little gods.
Yeah, Terry Pratchett's little god.
Athena isn't Roman Pantheon. Athena is Greek.
No, she's
Pantheon.
Greek.
Yeah.
Seshat was the ancient Egyptian goddess of wisdom, knowledge, and writing. Yeah, you're right. Most the ladies are chiming in over here going, they're mostly wisdom rather than knowledge.
Right.
Yeah, books
are a fairly late start.
Prior to the invention of the Gutenberg press,
yeah,
books were not a common thing.
No, and they were tremendously expensive.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I remember there was an article about, it was titled F *** in cats.
Yeah.
And it was books back pre-Gutenberg when the monks were doing them by candlelight in abbeys.
Yeah.
And how many of them had cat prints in ink along the page because you couldn't get rid of the page.
Yeah.
So you thwack the fucking cat.
There's a
Koala says Momus, the god of satire and writers. Yes.
There's somebody went through all those old illuminated texts and made commentary because the monks would make notes in the margin.
Yes, and some of them were scoreless.
hilarious.
Some of them were scoreless in the extreme.
Yeah. This guy is a monk. He should go to confession.
Yeah. Hey, confessional every night. Because
Speaking of confession,
I didn't do it. Nobody saw me do it. He can't prove it.
she swore she was 21. Man was dead when I got there, I swear.
Yeah.
Oh, wait.
Somebody else ate the cake.
The French are finding out real quickly that their standard way of doing business is not flying lately.
Oh, you mean the whole sub thing?
Yes.
I don't know if that's the French screwing up or if it's us not talking to the French.
No, it's the French screwing up. They are behind.
6 of one, half dozen.
They're over a year behind now, 5 years into the program.
Well, yeah, but
they are double the budget.
There was a new contract that we snaked out from under them.
No, it was not a new contract.
It was a different contract, wasn't it? We signed a contract.
Yeah,
we signed a contract to deliver nukes.
Yeah, the French
were going to build
diesels,
yeah. Which were guaranteed to submerge once, at least.
Well, technically every sub is like that. In fact, they've all been like that at one point or another.
But the interesting part is the number that are being ordered is double the current submarine fleet in Australia.
Well, they're looking at China getting nervous.
Yeah.
I would.
And the Chinese are going bat nuts over this.
Because they didn't get the contract?
No, because now there's going to be another nuclear presence in Southeast
There's
Asia.
going to be a lot more subs in the water, and what they
consider. Aside from Pakistan, India, Japan, who else
is nuke subs, not nuke power.
Oh, okay. I was going to say.
Yeah, there's a huge difference.
Yeah, there's a big difference.
So the Aussies are going to be running nuke subs in what China considers their puddle, and it makes them nervous.
So they can submerge and disappear for up to 90 days.
Yeah, whereas a
diesel boat, which has got to surface about every week or less.
Yeah, well, they can snorkel.
Which is surfacing.
Snorkel. Yeah. Well, I just remember the French were screaming at us for stealing their contract.
Speak of the devil. New tensions brewing between U.S. and France.
Yeah. Well, I think it's freaking hilarious.
France has always been a weird ally. They were part of NATO, but they built every third world dictator's air defense system.
Brian, you know the answer to that question is we can neither confirm nor deny.
What are we not confirming or denying?
Nuke weapons.
No, whatever.
There are.
Don says, well, they didn't have much chance to get into long form writing, even if most of them could get back the whole writing power for Juju thing. It seems to have been.
There's a squadron of P-51s and Corsairs sitting in the middle of the Australian outback, just sitting there.
World War II?
Well, yeah, they're all World War II ventures. It's just that the Aussies did a nuke test, and they put those airplanes there.
Oh, and now they're ready.
Yeah, now they blow in the dark.
Yeah.
So nobody wants to go get them. But I'm sure after 70 years, if you were planning on having kids, they're perfectly safe.
We could patch them instead of China.
Raptor nails it basically with this comment. The frogs are mad. They're no longer the world's top under the table arms dealer.
That's it.
I thought the Germans were the world's number one.
No, France was.
France?
Yeah, well,
France was undercutting the Germans on about 50% of the deals.
France did a lot. Wow. France did a lot of under the table arms deals.
Yeah.
Because
in the 80s, everybody did.
After Reagan blew up Libya's air defense system, the French were
that's
there.
Right. The French rebuilt it, didn't they?
Like the next day.
They irritated the Italians because the Italians were bidding on that.
Yeah. Well, yeah, the Italians were slow on getting on the airplane. That's their problem. The French didn't waste time for a baguette or anything. They got on the airplane, they landed in Libya and said, "Hey, we can rebuild this for you."
Yeah, I did.
Oh, and RK brings up one I had forgotten about, but this is true. Any number of Brits, common, regular, everyday Brits, are buying up French chateaus and rehabbing them because the French won't do it.
Why not?
So you've got regular people like us that own chateaus in France.
Because when
stop giving me ideas.
Because when all those countries went to the euro, the ones with the better economies won.
Yeah.
And the ones with the really shitty economies were the first ones to go to the euro.
Because
Brad goes, and Germans build more bunkers than sell weapons. Well, that's true too.
Because if I could buy Rita a chateau, she would be in hog heaven.
Yeah.
That's an interesting turn of a phrase.
Buy a chateau for in Malta is a suggestion.
I would.
There are no chateaus in Malta. There are
Bunkers.
bunkers.
There are bunkers.
Fortresses and pillboxes. Speaking of being good at it,
Honey, I got you this nice little pillbox over
Oh,
here.
I think
It's got a great view.
I think she'd love Malta. I really do.
I bet
They're just the little slips are kind of
I can see it. I bought you a chateau. It's got 9-foot thick stone walls and is 75% underground. It does have a window in this.
yeah, Sanford. That's the bad part is you would have to live in France.
That I did. For those of y'all who don't
No,
follow
I've
me
heard
on
of
Facebook,
people buying chateaus, deconstructing them brick by
yeah,
brick,
and bringing them somewhere else.
and taking them somewhere else and rebuilding them.
For those of you who don't follow me on Facebook, I did somebody asked me a question about Malta, and
And you went off.
it
Yeah.
triggered my muse, and I sailed off into.
What if
Yeah,
the Germans had taken Malta?
Well, no, it was what if the Germans had instead of invading Crete had tried to invade Malta instead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they had to parachute into a blender, but that's another hero there.
I mean, the Germans had the first operational parachute.
Yeah.
Italians or-
Fallschirmjäger or whatever. And they got chewed up in Crete,
Yeah.
which is a bigger, flatter island, Malta, and
Yeah.
not nearly as well
But-
prepared by knights.
But they won.
Richard has good suggestions. Says you buy a chateau, Brion.
Mm.
No. I want that 10 seconds of my life back.
But so I went off on Maltese architecture and what the what the Knights of Malta and everyone else for back to year 5000 BC did to that island, and was one of the more popular things I've done on Facebook.
Yeah, Cedar says that was epic. Yes, it was.
With pictures.
Yeah.
And then people went and started looking at Google Earth for the satellite maps. Why is this wall here in the middle of nowhere? Well, the Knights of Malta built that to slow people down and make them go through what we call a choke point.
Yeah. Sanford says if I could afford to transport a used chateau to Texas, I could build a new one with good wiring and plumbing. This is true.
Yeah.
Because the wiring and plumbing in those
Considering
things
most chateaus, putting plumbing in to begin with would be great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The hard part is going to be adding the central AC. Because guarantee you, if you
Texas.
move it to Texas,
Well,
lady,
if
it's late September, and we're still able to cook eggs on the sidewalk in Texas.
you've got the 3 to 9 foot thick walls, that actually tends to keep things inside kind
That's
of
true,
cool.
and they have the
Yeah.
high ceilings.
But it also means you freaking freeze in the winter.
That's why you have great.
Yes, you do.
You could
You put the central fireplace in.
yeah, because every room had a big fireplace in it for a reason.
Yeah. And where are you going to get the 6 foot long, 24-inch diameter logs around here?
Well,
Yeah. If you don't mind everything smelling like mesquite, you can burn that.
you just throw chunks of. I mean, you can get a 250-foot mesquite taproot.
Mm-hmm.
That's just like dark mesquite. Which
Yeah.
odd smell. But no, I haven't even started posting pictures of Malta cave systems yet.
Yeah.
I may let that thread die because people are starting to make noises about Malta
The weird
short
thing
stories.
is
Yeah.
Malta has an incredible World War II museum.
Oh yeah. I actually have a couple of them.
Well, they've got artifacts there
Yeah,
That-
Fort Elmo.
that
Yes.
aren't anywhere else.
RK, you're right. Stone houses in hill country are quite toasty in winter, but the walls are much thinner,
Yeah, and once you get them heated up, they're
and you've got heat there, and you're heating,
once you get the wall heated up so it can start radiating heat, it ain't bad.
yeah, 800 to 900 square feet at a time, not 8,000 to 9,000 square feet.
Yeah, and those places tended to have one central fireplace that was basically open.
Yeah.
And there was a hole at the top of the ceiling.
The koala goes, if you're using mesquite, the neighbor's going to want to stop by and know what you're smoking.
Yes. There's going to be a line out your front door with forks and knives.
Yeah, I was just thinking we'd go by one of these just any ranch out here that's bulldozed a mesquite patch, go by with a couple of hoes to whack the rattlesnakes and just haul off tons of mesquite shrubbery out of those big piles they bulldoze up.
Yeah.
Now we go out with a shotgun and a tree shredder, and just.
Kind of rough on a snake
Yeah.
through a tree shredder.
Well, that's right, a shotgun.
Oh, That would be that would be
That would be before. The question is, would that be before or after you picked up the limb and the son of a bitch was on?
Yeah. Well, you wear gloves that go up to here.
Yeah. And Kevlar stab proof.
And don't stop moving.
Yeah.
Now, one time that I was visiting, Chris and I were over at the old homestead in Electra, Texas, and the next door neighbor found a snake, and I thought it was a bull snake, so I picked it up.
And then it started rattling at you.
It didn't have a rattle; it was too small. It was itty bitty little thing. And the squirmy little bastard hung a fang in the thumb of my Kevlar police gloves.
You understand that the baby snakes are more dangerous than the adult snakes.
Kevlar stab proof.
Okay.
So I went and threw it, and Chris put all Ginsu Viking on it with a hoe, and there were twitchy bits all over the place.
RK says need a diamond tip saw to get through that mesquite and the log sizes. Yeah, and it's even worse when it dries. It's bad enough wet.
Yeah, but can you imagine how much you'd make selling mesquite chips to the surrounding barbecue places?
It's not here. You want to sell them? It's Manhattan, or
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Because apparently they pay stupid prices
But the
for.
question is, how much would you pay to go? How many chippers would you go through
Well,
Yeah.
to get a load?
Yeah.
because apparently the places in the world class barbecue joints in Brooklyn pay through the sciences for mesquite chips.
That picture still pisses me off.
Oh, no kidding, right?
This is the best barbecue in the country. No smoke ring.
No, and not a
And
one.
It's gray all the way through. So like they overcooked it.
There's no smoke ring in it.
There's no.
And it looked like a dry, miserable piece of that poor thing.
Yeah.
My mouth dried out just looking at it. It's all bad.
Don says, I personally would thoroughly appreciate having a fireplace that could roast an ox. Not feeding it, but nothing is perfect. And John says, first time I ever ran into a rattlesnake, I had no idea what it was because they don't rattle. Yes, they do rattle. If you...
Oh, trust me, we parked next to one once. And I opened my door, and then I shut it real quick.
Yeah.
Because he was right there.
Because there's something about that noise of a rattlesnake that just goes straight to your limbic system.
Yeah, but John said it sounds like a hiss more than a rattle.
No. There's a hiss element to it.
There is.
But I mean, it goes straight to your limbic system.
Yeah.
What I loved was that snake was curled up there, and that was his spot.
Yeah,
his area. He was not moving.
He was not moving.
Yeah.
There was at one time back in the 90s, rattlesnake meat was selling for $89 a pound.
Yeah.
In Manhattan.
$89 a pound. So that's like 3 snakes right there.
Yeah.
Jesus.
No, that's depending on the snake. That's one snake.
That could be a snake.
Once you dress it down.
Yeah.
Well, you get
easily
3-foot.
3-footer will give you easily a pound of meat.
Oh yeah.
You think?
Oh yeah.
I don't see them being that meat.
We've got some land out in West Texas. I was seriously thinking about taking some cinder blocks out there and just throwing the cinder blocks out so they heat up in the during the day, and at night something would curl up.
Mm-hmm.
I go through there with night vision so I could pick the hot rocks out and start collecting snakes. Because $89 a pound? Oh yeah. Then I found out the cost of Department of Agriculture stamps to send that stuff.
Because the restaurants can't take it unless it's been FDA inspected.
Nope.
Which is why
the only reason
there are guys out there that have hog traps on their land.
Yeah.
They'll go out once a week with a trailer and run their hogs into the trailer. Then they have a butcher who's got an FDA. So that he can, because people in Dallas are paying $80 for a wild hog pork chop.
We need to get in on that.
Yeah. Koala says, my Yankee rear end hadn't seen one until the idiot deaf cat wanted to play. Idiot husband, Josh, did not inform me they keep moving after you shoot its head off. Oh yeah.
And they can strike after they're dead.
Yeah.
Which something I thought was an urban legend until the little bastards did it to me.
Yeah. And the poison sack's actually about, depending on the size of the snake, 3 to 4 inches back in the head. So
I don't know, because every snake I've ever had to chop up because it's that close, there wasn't any recoverable parts to it. So
we skinned a few of them out for lunch one time.
The best shot I've ever taken
and gotten in trouble
at a range was we were walking between 2 ranges, and Cody, one of the other range masters, goes, snake, and I went, pow!
And got it?
only faster than that. And I drilled its head down
Oh, wow.
into
Well
the
done.
ground. And then I felt bad because it was a bull snake. But just the muscle memory. Snake, pow!
I would.
Better than you with your hog.
Oh, God. That was also muscle memory, and that was a mistake.
Yeah, that hog is just plain old pissed off at you.
You know, all I did was irritate the hog.
Wild hogs love rattlesnake meat. The bite doesn't affect
Oh, yeah.
them. No, it doesn't.
No, it doesn't.
It does it, they deal with it differently. I mean, it's still venom.
Yeah, but they're so damn big and
Yeah.
fat.
Yeah, but
And you hit that.
You gotta get through the layer of fat to do any good.
You hit that layer of cartilage right there.
Yeah.
Cartilage doesn't have any circulation worth a damn in it. So,
but their bodies and process the venom differently than we do.
so
Koala says, I took an axe to it and made him clean it up. That's fair. What 9mm round do you recommend for hog hunting?
9.3 by 62 millimeter.
He got you with that one.
All you guys with your boutique rounds, I'm telling you, 577, 450 Martini.
Because 127 grain plus P plus doesn't do.
230 grain 45 will bounce off an armadillo.
Yeah.
Swear to God, I couldn't have missed him. He wasn't 10 feet away.
That's the story. We're sticking to it.
Yeah. No, and not even any blood. I swear to God, I hit that guy because I heard the ricochet.
Yeah. I pistol rounds have done weirder things.
Yeah, Don, that is true. Your mother is phobic and more than once has ran her gun dry and Don's dry. By God, you need to kill that snake was shaking too bad to hit it.
I did a mag dump on a 9mm on a rattlesnake because I was looking for some evidence, and I got off inside an abandoned chicken coop where we thought somebody had been hiding. I got hung up, and I heard that, and I went mag dumped 9mm trying to kill it. I couldn't see it, didn't know where it was. I wanted it gone.
So you're just spraying and praying.
I sprayed and prayed.
That's all right. I mag dumped on an AR on a water moccasin.
Oh, I believe it.
I was clearing. They were doing a photo shoot at the range, and I had my shotgun out there, and I was clearing the areas that they wanted to do photo shoots in because,
Like,
yeah. One of them was I saw a water moccasin as I'm walking across the bridge, so pow, and then it was pow, pow, because he's in the air. I've got a quick shot now.
Well, that's one of those Taurus 410 revolvers.
Yeah.
People make fun of them, and I do too.
The judges, yeah.
Yeah, I make fun of them too, but they are superlative close-up snake guns.
Sanford says you got off inside a chicken coop. Kiki.
I was there on official business.
Ian has a thing for chickens, we've noticed.
When a deputy fires at snakes, is that an expenditure that's an easy write-off?
At a county where my take-home pay was $997 or $999.17 a month,
Yeah, yes.
and the only benefit I got was a box of 50 9mm FMJs and orders to practice once a month. Yeah, there was write-offs going on.
Yeah, and of course the Taurus judge comes up.
Yep.
And Farm Girl says, "Yeah, I can throw a pizza box, spread of pellets, and actually hit the snake instead of being out of ammo."
Listen, I make fun of the judge, but it's a superlative snake gun.
Yeah.
It is.
It really is.
Not when you turned it into a revolving rifle, though.
That one was great when you ran 45 Colt through it.
Yeah.
Rita could ring gongs at 100 yards with that 45 Colt, and it made me happy.
Yeah, but
She liked it.
it's like the extended Keltec shotgun they have now, the one that holds 29 rounds.
Yeah, that thing.
The whole idea behind a bullpup shotgun is you compact the thing enough so it's maneuverable in hallways.
Yeah.
But you bullpup it and make it standard size. You can put 30 rounds in it.
Right. Well, no, this thing is longer. It's as long as, say, a Mossberg with a 9-round tube on it.
I will just stick with my Mossberg because I know that son of a bitch works.
Oh yeah,
I have
And you
no
won't-
faith
and
in
you
the
won't shoot
Kel-Tec
your hand
actually
off.
working past the first trigger pull.
and you won't shoot your hand off reloading.
Yes. Those Celtic shotguns, just
They're an interesting engineering.
Yeah.
They're an interesting piece of engineering. They really are.
yeah. Well, I mean,
They make my skin crawl actually pulling trigger on them.
I mean, bullpup shotguns are a good idea.
Well, after the experience we had with that one.
With the rest of Kel-Tec stuff,
Yeah.
Oleg Volk at one time, maybe still is. Kel-Tec loved them some Oleg,
Yeah. They
Well,
still do.
Oleg gets the only one that they produce.
apparently.
Kel-Tec produces one of
And they
some.
sent it
Send it
to
to
Oleg.
Oleg. Oleg takes pictures of it and sends it back.
He came out to Secret Location, Colorado with a whole bunch of Kel-Tecs. He had the RFB, the rifle forward ejecting bullpup.
Yeah.
And I pulled the trigger on it. Thought something was weird. Picked up a case. Went whoa! Passed to Jim. Jim said, "I ain't pulling the trigger on that thing," because the primer wipe was so bad, it was dragging primer material onto the case head.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So Farm Dad and Oleg said, "Well, we'll fix this because it had that infinitely adjustable gas." It's like you can't. Yeah, I'm looking at you. You can't. No, it's.
That has nothing to do with it.
Yeah, what causes primer wipe is very limited to the amount of gas going through the system. Well, they got out there because you couldn't tell them anything, and they adjusted that infinite gas adjustment until the father pulled the trigger, the gas block went sailing off across the desert.
Well, no, it wasn't an infinite number of adjustments. They adjusted it once, a quarter of a turn, and it blew off.
Wow. And then they had the experimental PMR, the 30 round 22 Magnum,
Yeah.
and I pulled the trigger on it, an extractor ripped through the case but left the case in the chamber. Say, I'm good, Oleg. Thank you.
Yeah.
You people are rough on guns. No,
No,
you just
no,
bought some crap
no.
guns.
Yeah,
The thing is-
Jason brings up a good point. Judge is not bad, but the Mossberg came out with a 410 shockwave, which that's a nice little way to go.
Yeah.
Don says, he's telling RK, I had to learn to shoot snakes because they don't make a hole long enough for her mother. So
No
she would
kidding.
grab me and levitate to her comfort spot. So,
See, I remember talking with Oleg at that time about the Kel-Tecs that he was getting.
Uh-huh.
And he spent 10, 15 minutes talking about one gun where they sent it to him. He tested it. There was something wrong with the trigger. He sends it back with recommendations. They fix it, send it back, and just went on and on.
yeah.
Like 8 or 9 times. It's
So
going
he was
back and
her
forth.
test bed as
Yeah.
well as their photographer.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
But I mean,
Jesse makes an excellent point. Never buy anything until the third iteration. Yeah.
yeah, I'm not. I won't buy Kimber because of the fact that they use their buying populace as the
I won't
testing.
buy Kimber because they're pieces of shit anymore.
Well, remember when they came out with the 1911 with the external extractor?
Vaguely.
Yes.
Vaguely.
It was a huge cock up because they didn't do any testing on it.
Yeah.
They fitted an external extractor to a 1911 frame and then
Send
sold
it
it to the public and used the public to test their product for them.
Ouch.
And I'm like, you know what?
And it broke and broke
It
and
broke.
broke.
And if I'm buying a gun, I want it to go bang because that's what it needs to do when I need
Yeah.
it to do it.
And so much of their parts were molded metal that they broke
Mhm.
routinely.
Yeah, they were using old technology MIM.
Yeah, metal injection.
Yeah, rather than modern MIM, which is a damn sight better than the original stuff.
But LAPD, for years, Kimber used LAPD SWAT as an advertising thing.
Oh yeah. Well, a lot of folks do that.
But
Not just LAPD.
yeah, but what most of the armorers on LAPD told me was, yeah, within 6 months, the only thing that was still Kimber on that gun was the friggin' slide, and everything else had been replaced
I can believe
with
it.
either cylinder slide or Ed Brown hard parts.
Yeah, I believe it.
Yeah, Sanford says, that snake gun, Musk makes it a flamethrower.
Hey, he's not wrong.
If it's too far for a flamethrower, it's too far to be a threat. Yeah, that's true.
I have a standing rule. I don't mind small rat type snakes, bull snakes, garter snakes, as long as they're not big enough to hurt one of the puppies. I don't care. But venomous snakes, need to bugger off outside of our AO because I don't tolerate venomous snakes around the house.
Yeah.
On the plus side, your chickens are clearing out the venomous snakes.
Yeah, Koala, you're right. Best snake gun is the one that gets it done. She hit one the other night with a World War II training rifle in 22. Dead is dead and dead is good. Yep.
My mom whacked quite a few snakes with a Ruger single action. What's that? Itty bitty bird's head 22 that made for a short period of time.
Not 22 mini.
No, it was
Ruger. It's a small single action army type.
You're talking about the gun, not the round.
And she,
baby bird's head 22.
yeah,
Yeah.
and she whacked because according to her, they'll line up if you point a gun at them, they'll line up on the cylinder. I never had any of them follow that witchcraft. But
River Bearcat.
the Bearcat.
Thank you, Raptor. That's it.
Yeah, she had a Ruger Bearcat. She swore that if you pointed the gun at them, they'd line up on the barrel.
Really? Because every time I pointed the gun at a snake, it's lined up on my ankle.
Yeah, no,
Right,
well, like
right.
I said, that witchcraft works for mom, but not me.
Yeah.
Because I always carry that 357.
Yeah.
And snake, I'd throw a CCI shot shell in there. Well, it'll line up, bam, and the snake went, fuck you, and took off.
Yeah.
Like, not lining up. I called mom. No, they'll line right up.
They'll
They
line
might for you, but not for me.
I just had a funny thought about snake shot.
What is snake shot? Is it somewhere between bird shot and?
It's either number 9 or number 12.
It's
Depending on
usually either
which-
number 9 or number 12, and it's 9 pellets. In a 45, I think it's 9 pellets.
Oh, it's a crap ton in 38, 357. I
Yeah.
mean, they're itty bitty pellets to begin with. It's number
Right.
12 shot or number 9 shot.
Years ago, some people might have been out at the range playing at the trap range, and the guy came out there with a 45.
That's what I've shot snake with.
And he said, "Now, I wonder if I can hit anything with this 45 shooting trap."
Watch downrange.
Huh?
Watch downrange because that 45 is going to travel for a while.
Well,
Yeah.
he busted 3 out of 5. And then one of the guys reached over and picked up one of the ejected cases.
And it's
It's a
shot.
shot
And it was shot, and it was like, "You cheating son of a bitch."
Thompson Contender for a short time was making 44 shot shells.
Yeah.
But you had to be run through their Thompson Contender.
Well, it's because they don't have to worry about a feed ramp.
Yeah.
Well, and also the damn things were as long as a 410 because it was a 44 case and then a half again, and they threw a hell of a lot of shot.
Yeah.
But you had to put it in a break open.
Yeah, Jason, never, ever use 22 shot shells on a snake.
There's not enough. That's dust shot. There's not enough. 38 357's got a decent.
He said he
No,
fired 4 rounds at a water moccasin at 2 feet and unpenetrated.
Oh,
12 gauge, however, penetrated.
The CCI shot in the red capsule is number 8, I think.
Yeah.
And is really good snake medicine.
Yeah, okay. Says, wonder how Mr. Azakawa would have handled the rattlesnakes.
Not well.
Yeah.
As a Kiwi
Yeah.
would not have handled snakes well at all. He had
Yeah.
snake phobia, which was really odd in a African native because they're everywhere.
You said he was Kiwi.
As a Kiwi,
Oh, as a Kiwi. Okay.
yeah.
I thought you said Kiwi, and I'm like, well, 9 of the 11 deadliest snakes in the world happen to be.
Australia.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're Australian, not New Zealand.
Only 9.
9 of the 11, which I find it a weird way to put it.
Yeah.
Only 9.
You couldn't say 8 out of 10, which would have been true because to get the 9th one, the 10th one was somewhere else.
But the
CCI
Snake.
Reds are number 4.
number 4.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's just that
They're-
every shot shell for pistols that I've seen look like 38 wad cutters.
Yeah.
The big flat.
Yep.
And they're not
Big.
going to feed. I
Well,
know.
that's
I
because they're
know.
supposed to go through a 30. They're supposed
I
to
know
go through.
semi-auto. They won't feed.
Yeah, they'll be in the 45.
I
Well,
don't think
the 45 and 9 mil are curved.
Yeah.
They're bullet shaped.
Okay.
They've got a dome on the end of it. It's the 38 44 flat nose is supposed to go in a revolver.
The other thing I worry about is what is the shot shell doing to my barrel?
That's the plastic does tend to. The hell Jim go?
I think he's going to go get a
A shot shell.
45 shot shell to show me that it'll feed.
There
Which
was.
worries me because I think he's going to shoot me with the shot shell to show that it'll feed.
Mm,
I less than thrilled about this.
It's for
plan.
science.
It's
It's for science.
let's rework our scientific method.
45 Colt.
Yeah, but the 9mm, because they make 9mm shot shells. They're not. Really
Yeah,
right?
I've seen them. I've seen 45 shot shells and 22.
Yeah,
It's
they're
just
rounded.
Yeah.
I just worry about them feeding and because
I won't.
every Ruger 22 I've ever owned has been finicky as hell about what it'll feed and what it won't.
Yeah, Rugers.
But I'm really more worried about what it's doing to the barrel.
Yeah, the plastic. Every time I've used.
Hold that up to.
Every time I've used.
That's a 38.
Yeah,
38
that-
357.
that's what I tend to carry.
Yeah.
You know,
And that's the number 4.
yeah, good size shot in there. There's a lot of them. Every time I had to whack a snake, or I used them a lot for finishing off wounded animals inside city limits, because I didn't want to bang a 125 grain jack and hollow point off the pavement into a town of 2,000 people.
Into the squad that was standing back there.
Yeah. So I would use shot shells and up close, almost contact, and always did the trick. The possum had hit by a car, never noticed the fact it was, 9 shot, but it did the trick. But then I'd go home and I'd punch the bore because I was a little worried about plastic in the.
Yeah. I guess if you think about it, the plastic is supposed to protect the barrel. Plastic's like a sabo, right?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I think all it does is hold the shot.
Yeah, it just holds a shot.
So you're leaving. So what that means is that you have shot pellets rattling around in your barrel as they go down it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As well as plastic that's.
Yeah.
gonna-
If you test a pistol, the 38 shot shell, you get this odd donut effect. You get center about 10 feet. You get a chunk of the center.
Yeah.
And then a blank spot, and then a halo.
Yeah.
And that's got to be the ones that are hitting the rifling as they go down the barrel.
Yeah. That's
That's the same thing with a shotgun.
I guess
Your
so.
pellets are rattling around as they go down the barrel.
Yeah.
That's why they pattern.
Oh.
Yeah, I guess so. It's,
Somebody, there was a 9mm garden gun, which I think when we were banging around down in Denton, I think that's what the 9mm garden gun was, a smoothbore
that smoothbore pistol that we
rifle.
rifle that
Yeah, there was a garden gun. It was a smoothbore rifle with special 9mm shot shells.
Yeah.
Smoothbore, and it was designed for hitting garden pests at less than 20 feet. I think it was marked for city dwellers, but don't quote me on that.
Yeah.
And then somebody said, "Hey, well, it's illegal to shoot off firearms in the city, anyways."
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, Jason. 1911 was made in 38 Special.
38 Super.
Now there was also a 38 Special.
Yeah,
version.
the
Coonan. 357, 38.
Now there was also a competition 38 Special from Colt back in the day.
Sure wasn't 38 Smith & Wesson?
No, there was 38 Special.
the rimmed round.
Yes,
Interesting.
and it was a wad cutter for bullseye.
Because I know that
There weren't many of them made.
Right, because
for Olympic, back in the day, for Olympic pistol shooting, the 38 Smith & Wesson had a resurgence because it was the Olympic pistol
Yeah.
shooters using 38 Smith & Wesson long, I think.
Yeah,
And all-
Jason
all the-
Mossberg's the one that makes the bolt action smoothbore in 9 and 22 mag, called a garden gun. That's what it was.
Damn,
now we know.
the old tapioca still works every
Uh-huh.
now and then.
Even if it was labeled Western Auto.
Yeah, no kidding, right?
It was Western Auto.
Western Sales, I think.
That was Western Auto.
No, it was
Western
Western Auto. Then there was a adjective.
Yeah, reliable or reliant or something.
Yeah,
Revolution.
Revolution. That's it. Yeah.
No, Revelation, which I thought was odd.
Yeah. Well, when you sell guns in the Bible Belt.
Yeah.
Point. If anybody's on Facebook, that picture of me up to my hips inside of a closet was because the gun safe. This wasn't mine. Everybody seems to think it was my closet. It's not. The gun safe was set in the closet, and then the sides. There was stuff in the sides, but you couldn't get to it until the skinny guy, or comparatively skinny guy, squirmed in there.
So this is a 20 rifle gun safe
Yes.
that contains 64
Yes.
guns in it.
No, more than that.
No, we stopped at 6. So it had to be like 78 or 79 guns total in the safe.
20 say
74.
And
Yeah.
then around it,
Yeah.
yeah, there were
there was
more.
another dozen or 15 guns.
And 2 smoke bombs.
And 2 smoke bombs, 1 leaking.
Yeah,
Yeah.
1 leaking, which was fun.
I'm telling you, I know Jim has a lighter.
You know, why the hell? Because I was up to my hips,
Oh,
squirreled
crap.
sideway into that.
Crap! I was gonna warn Holly to take a rag and wipe down the inside of the vacuum cleaner because the aluminum dust will cling to the sides.
I don't think it's aluminum dust. Aluminum dust would be for thermite. This
I think
was
that
smoke.
black powder.
I think it was black powder.
Yeah, I think it was
Well, I would
smoke.
still.
Yeah, she still needs to.
Yeah,
I'll send her a text.
I forgot to warn her about that.
Because
Dawn, we could have used you. You would have actually fit.
oh god, yeah. There's a picture of me from the hips up sideways, inside, you know, between the door and the gun safe. And at the time, was I putting them back or I was putting them back?
Yeah, we pictures we took where you put in them back. Getting them out was funnier.
Yeah. I had to get them out, and then one of the smoke grenades had a hole in it, and it leaked smoke powder everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
And because we're us, had to get a vacuum cleaner, and I had to squirm my way back in there with a vacuum cleaner hose and vacuum up all of the.
Yeah, that's it.
You can see how far he is back in that.
Yeah, that's my knee sticking out.
Yeah.
And it looks like a normal closet,
Yeah,
but the pine trees back there.
yeah. The pine trees and the guy with the goat legs and the scarf, just really
And
odd.
that one odd little lamppost.
And something about Turkish delight.
Do not eat the Turkish delight.
No, stay away from Turkish delight. What the hell is that?
American Jack stock.
Bugger that for a game of soldiers.
That's a 18, 19 and
Mule.
Jack.
Mule. Or
That's
was
a
it?
big son of a bitch. What that is.
Anyway.
Take it big.
So no, that wasn't mine. That was friends. We were evaluating his guns for the estate. A friend of ours who has passed, and great
You
deal
may
of
have
fun.
been. I was just down there to coon finger them and drool over them.
And no kidding, right?
Look the ones I wanted.
Yeah. This one's mine.
Rule of the law of dog. I have licked it, therefore it is mine.
Turkish delight was a disappointment. Yep.
Oh, Turkish delight's nasty. I read the Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe, and I couldn't figure out why the hell, because I had Turkish delight by then. The stuff's nasty. And it's like Turkish delight. Oh my God, it's the temptation. Why?
Yeah.
Why is that a temptation? This stuff's nasty.
Yeah, RK, you're right. The Sears bolt action box mag shotgun is an assault weapon in California.
They've obviously never tried to pull a trigger on one.
Yeah.
3 minutes. We have 3 minutes left.
They've obviously never tried to pull a trigger on one because
Yeah.
damn.
Yeah. Yeah, John, these are not going to be for sale.
Apparently, we're almost up to an hour.
Yeah.
Why is cedar starved for sugar?
Talking about Turkish delight.
No. You know, these days sugar tastes nasty to me.
Yeah.
I actually put some sugar in my coffee the other day. Oh my God, that was terrible. I've been living on stevia and Ideal, which is xylitol.
Yeah.
Ideal sweetener is great, but not if you have dogs.
Yeah.
The actual Ideal sweetener, which
Kill
is
a dog.
deader than a hammer,
Yeah.
but also drop your blood sugar, and that's
Yeah.
why it kills dogs. It drops your blood sugar. But I do love Ideal, but the stevia and erythritol is having to take place. And
Yeah.
I've been drinking that so long, sugar's just nasty now.
Yeah, Toblerone, Richard. Yeah, Toblerone is good candy. Water pistols are assault weapons in California.
Yeah, xylitol kill a dog with a quickness, sends
Yeah.
an insulin shock. So I don't use Ideal anymore because we have a dog that I can't keep out of my coffee.
Well, you could.
You've never met a dachshund, have you?
Yeah, you could because they'd go lap, 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 thud.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. Cedar has been modifying desserts for me for years because I find it almost too sweet. Yeah. As you get older too, the taste tends to change.
Dawn Splenda Natural Stevia is the best one. It doesn't have that bitter aftertaste. Truvia is a good second, but
Yeah.
the Splenda Natural Stevia is the one I use. And if they ever make the Splenda Naturals monk fruit in packets, I'll use that stuff.
Yeah.
I love monk fruit, but they won't make it in packets, and I don't like to spoon it out.
That's what RK uses as monk fruit.
Yeah. If Splenda would make the monk fruit in packets, I'd buy it by the ton, but they won't make it in packets.
Yeah, Scott, that's a good point. Sugar is actually in ketchup. A lot of people don't realize
Oh
that.
God, in America, sugar's in everything.
Yeah.
It's in spaghetti sauce, for God's sake.
That little. Okay, so
Lakanto, Lakanto makes monk fruit in packets.
Okay.
Huh.
Yeah, my Mochi, the dachshund looking Chiweenie, she will be ears deep in my coffee cup if I turn around twice.
this guy just came in. Good boy. I was going to give him a pepperoni. Pulled one out. There's a second one stuck to it. That dog saw that, snatched them both. Before oh my God, it's gone.
Well, if you fed him every once in a while,
I feed him all the time.
that's
I'm at the point that on my fries, I would rather have pecani sauce or ranch.
My preferred is ketchup, mayonnaise, and Cholula.
Interesting combination.
But there are fries that I don't like that. I don't like McDonald's French fries. Prefer them plain.
Yeah.
Don't like them to have ketchup on them.
The lady at Whataburgers finally realized that if you give me fries, put a pecani sauce, pecani pack in there, because I don't like. This may be heresy. I don't like Whataburgers ketchup.
I really like Whataburger spicy ketchup.
I haven't tried a spicy ketchup.
Really?
Regular ketchup's not great.
That's what we have in the fridge here.
Yeah, I haven't tried it yet.
tartar sauce for fries. Oh, hell no, Sanford.
Ranch.
That's wrong.
And,
Ranch, no ranch either.
and that sounds weird, but I love ranch on my French fries.
My second favorite condiment for French fries is Wendy's Wendy's chocolate shake.
That's something I didn't know about until recently, and apparently it's a thing.
It is a thing, and it's a good thing.
Yeah, I agree with you, Jesse. No, Brian, ranch sucks.
Ranch is great. Ranch is great.
That is the lousiest salad dressing.
I don't use it. I use it for salad dressing a lot, but I
Ranch
use
is-
it for everything else.
Ranch is good once you put the blue cheese in it. Blue cheese dressing.
John says, every place we went, they gave us ranch in Reno.
Well,
There must be a
They're
Reno
learning.
thing, you know. That's
they're
weird.
learning.
It's Reno. That's no telling.
Apparently, I was noticing that after having lived here for how long, John? He now misses Texas when he's gone.
Yeah.
He just moved here from California, what, 2 years ago? And now he misses it when he's gone.
Did he pass the test, or is he a liberal?
No, he passed the test. He's, all right. He's okay.
I agree with you, Jason. Sausage gravy. Yeah, that's
Oh,
Oh
Yeah.
yeah,
Oh,
right,
yeah.
that would be good.
Oh, yeah.
vinegar and honey koala. That's
No,
Vinegar if you're having fish and chips.
fish and chips. Oh,
But
God,
chips
yes.
are different than fries.
Oh, yeah.
no.
Chips are like steak fries.
Yeah,
They're nice, thick slabs of.
yeah. They're
Before we sign off, since we're an hour and 3 minutes in,
Duh.
FinCon next year, y'all are gonna want to go.
Yeah.
I'm going
It's-
just to heckle you guys from the
It's
back
liable
row.
to get interesting.
FinCon is going to explode, and it's going to become a bigger regional.
You guys are
con.
going to be up on that panel, and you're going to say something.
You
I'm
say
gonna-
you guys.
and I'm going to stand up and go, actually.
It's going
And
to
I will
be.
pull out the 45 that I have on my head and go,
Boom!
boom.
I will bounce a magic marker off your forehead.
I'm in the back row. I think I could.
I need to get a package a la Sarah Hoyt. I need to get a box of rubber trout.
Yeah.
She
hell.
uses carp. I want a box of little rubber trout. Bam!
No, shit. Fresh carp.
Fresh
Well,
carp.
do it. Let's do it.
I would-
Right?
I will replace the ball with the singing fish. Or wall plaque.
And on that note, folks,
Y'all
we
be safe.
wasted an hour and 4 minutes of your time today. Thank you very much for chiming in.
remember FinCon next year. It's gonna be.
Oh,
It's gonna turn into a hell of a con.
before we go, we are in the initial stages of planning for Fool's Con.
Yes.
Somebody has to call the RV place. I'm not gonna mention any names, Jim.
All right.
See y'all later. Be safe.
See you Thursday. Remember, don't sweat the petty stuff. Don't pet the sweaty stuff. Bye.